So then, the leader of the main Kurdish rebel group in Turkey has called for a ceasefire with the government. Abdullah Ocalan, who has been in prison since 1999, called on his Kurdish Workers Party fighters to withdraw from Turkey. It's raising hopes for an end to the 30-year conflict, which has left more than 40,000 people dead. Let's speak now to Zeina, who joins me live from Diyarbakir in southeast Turkey. And Zeina, I guess the main question is, will this deal stick?
Well, that is the big question, and this is what, when you talk to people here, they really welcomed Ocalan's call to end the armed struggle. They welcomed the call for a ceasefire, for fighters to retreat from Turkey. But what they're worried about is, what are they going to get in return? Yes, they came here. This was really like a referendum when they heard Ocalan's call, and they all supported this. But what are they going to get in return? And this is the details we do not have. We've heard reports, unconfirmed reports, that the Turkish government is going to amend the constitution, give the Kurds more rights, but we're still waiting for the Turkish government to respond. But clearly, Ocalan was right when he said that this is not the end of an era, but the start of a new era. Never before, really, has he been this clear in saying that the armed struggle is over. It's not just saying that the armed struggle is over, but saying or telling the Turkish government and the Kurdish people, because he said that the fight is not against the Turkish state, but against the injustices against our people.
And I should just say, as we're looking at these pictures of people celebrating, they're celebrating two things, and one is the Kurdish New Year, isn't it? And the second is the news of this peace plan. The other question is, why now? Why has this deal been struck now, do you think?
A lot of questions being asked. Now, we do know that Ocalan and the Turkish government have been involved in negotiations for some time now. And this is the first time the Turkish government is actually publicizing this fact. And that's why there is more hope that this time around peace efforts are more serious. But everyone you talk to here, and they don't really trust the Turkish government's intentions, because they believe that the Turkish Prime Minister Erdogan has a lot to benefit, simply because if he gets the support of the mainly Kurdish BDP party, which is seen sympathetic to the PKK, he will be able to amend the constitution, he will run for the presidency next year, and he will ensure that the presidency has more powers. At the same time, there's regional politics involved. We have to remember that the Turkish government really has been alarmed by the growing presence and the emergence of Kurds along its border in Syria, and the Kurdish Syrians, the PYD is being seen really as an offshoot of the PKK. So by neutralizing the PKK in Turkey, of course we all know that the PKK has bases in neighboring countries as well, then it will reduce the threat emerging from Syria. So Turkey really has a lot to benefit from this. People here would like this bloody and long, costly war to come to an end, but it's still too early to say whether or not both sides will be able to make peace, and a new relationship will begin between the Turkish government and its Kurdish citizens.
Zeina, thanks very much indeed. Zeina reporting there from Diyarbakir. Thank you very much indeed. Well, the Kurdish Workers Party was formed with one main aim, which is the creation of an independent state for the Kurdish people that would border Turkey, Syria and Iran. In 1984, it started its violent campaign against the Turkish government, and the conflict has left 40,000 people dead during that time. Between 1999 and 2004, there was a partial ceasefire following the arrest of the PKK leader Abdullah Ocalan. But the fighting intensified again in recent years, and the Turkish army says that 2012 was one of the most violent in recent years in the conflict.